Hi, welcome to Stretch. Today we're going to do what I call the stretch inside the stretch, which means I'm going to promote more movement inside of a certain stretch position that we're really familiar with. It's going to be slow. It's going to take a lot of breathing, but it's going to create a lot of depth and in ways of standing and holding and reaching that we haven't done so much before. I actually want to start in tabletop position, and we're going to start with cat-cow. It's a very safe place for us, and then we'll move from there. So I want to do it diagonally because there's going to be some variations on this. So for cat-cow, of course, you make sure your hands are under your shoulders, right? You actually can push your fingers into the floor to kind of make your shoulders release a little bit, and then your knees are under your hips. We're going to inhale and bring our chin and our glutes up. That's a very pronounced thing. Now, one of the things that's really clear, you can stay here breathing. You don't have to hold your breath. You can stay here breathing. One of the things that's really clear that we shouldn't do is push those shoulders toward our ears. So I want you to feel like you're dropping your center to the floor, right? Now take an inhale and exhale into cat. And that's going to be a release away from those shoulder blades, pushing down into the floor with those hands. Now from here, I want you to start pulling your belly in, and then pull those abs up under that rib cage and then release. So stay in cat and keep flowing through belly to rib cage. So you're inhaling and exhaling into that pull, and then inhaling in and exhaling, pulling up and inhaling back. It's almost like you're curling, but you're not. So if this was more physical and more exaggerated, your tail would tuck under and then it would release back, but we don't want to do that. We want to stay inside the belly, pulling up and back. And again, pull it up and then bring it back to regular cat, and then inhale, bring it to cow. So you're in this lift again, the separating shoulders, but not pushing the blades together, and then back to cat. Exhale up. Let's do those ab flows again. So belly to rib cage, belly to rib cage, belly to rib cage. Two more. Belly to rib cage. Last one. Belly to rib cage. Yeah. And hold that, hold that, hold that, hold that. And then inhale back to cow. Release off your wrists by pushing in with your fingers. Good. And then back to cat. Last time, 5 of those. Inhale and exhale, pull up and pull up. This is great for your digestion. And again, we used to call these pumps when we did them standing, and we would hold our breath to do them. 2 more. And last one. All right. So neutral back, toes together, knees apart, and sit back into child pose, letting your elbows come to the floor to start. All right, you're going to hold yourself pushing back into your glutes. You should feel a lengthening between your hip and your knee. Now reach your arms forward and lift them off the floor. So you're pushing in with your fingertips and try to push your chest down while you push back into those glutes. Keep those hands, those elbows elevated off the floor. Push again, inhale and exhale, and a little bit longer, and hold it. Now, if this hurts your shoulder at all, lower your elbows. That'll release the tension off the shoulders, or bring the arms in a little bit. All right, so reach, and reach, and reach. Now, I want you to take one hand and put it under the armpit of the other. The hand is under the armpit. You have that bend over. Then take the other hand over to the opposite edge of the mat. This is the stretch inside the stretch. And then push back some more. Drop those shoulder blades. Make sure that the shoulder that's bent with the bent arm doesn't go to your ear. Your head should still be centered. Everything else is centered. So you're feeling that stretch across from the middle of the back, across the scapula, all the way to the fingers. And breathe into it. Good. Now bring that hand back, put the other one out, and you're back into reaching. Still elbows elevated. And then take it, wrong one. Take it to the other side and reach to the other end of the mat. So this is a kind of concentrated upper body stretch that we don't get a lot of. There's going to be some of that going on here today. Breathe into it. And into it. Yes. Yep. And then bring it back to center. Bring the other one back to center. And then collapse those elbows onto the floor. Push forward so the chest reaches. You don't go all the way to puppy or all the way to that melting candle, whatever that is. You just drop it right in front of the split legs right here. Make sure your head is not pushing back on your neck, so your nose might be touching the mat, especially if it's as long as mine. And now walk that chest forward. And then we hold it and take our legs parallel right here. Nice. So you're lifted through the armpits, but you're not lifted through the arms anymore. Just feel that. It's really intense. It doesn't look like much, but if you're doing the reaching in the opposing directions, then you're going to feel this. All right, walk one hand under the shoulders and the other, and then we're going to come up. And I'm going to turn toward you this time because we're going to come up into something called gatekeeper. So the foot is out and it's flat. The knee is facing the ceiling, and you're lifted on your opposite knee. Now this, might need to pad your knee depending on your knee health. You want to lift your body all the way up, right? So that you're reaching toward the ceiling, and this becomes a long line, right? So slide that hand toward your knee, close the elbow onto the hip, just right here. Put the other arm up beside your ear, and then you're going to take a diagonal. You're not bending all the way over. I just want you to take a diagonal. That's going to pull right up out of the standing hip. Good. The foot should be flat in the back. A lot of people do gatekeeper with the foot flexed, but I'm going to keep it flat in the back because I think it's really important to get that alignment. And I don't want you to have to like wobble on balance that you might be doing in order to get it on that elevation. All right, so hold it right there. And we're breathing into it. Make sure you have your head over your tailbone. Beautiful. Good. Now you're going to take this arm and you're going to reach under the under the extended leg and bring your elbow to the floor, your hand in front of your head right here. This shoulder stretch we usually do in tabletop. Today we're doing it in gatekeeper pose. Good. Stretch it and stretch it and stretch it. Nice job. So we're going to do side splits. This is called a half split too, and we're going to do those in the side and in the front. Beautiful. Now push into the non-working hand, so you bring yourself back up, and then you're going to slide down that leg some more without the arm, then bring the arm overhead and go for a deeper stretch in that hip. Beautiful. This one's hard to roll your shoulder back on, but do the best that you can because we're kind of curled forward a little bit as we try to do that reach, but try to roll that shoulder back. Again, you can bend that lower elbow if you need to. Beautiful. Then you inhale up, and then we're going to go all the way over to the other side. This time the arm pushes out toward the wall. Again, roll it back so that you have alignment. Beautiful. And get that stretch. This is very complicated. It crushes down into your hip flexor a little bit. If that hurts, stay up here, right? And go across. Inhale and exhale back up. You're going to slide that leg in. Bring your arms around for a chest lift right here. That just does some opening of those shoulder, closing of the shoulder blades and opening of the front of the deltoids. Release it down, roll your shoulders back 4 times. Good. And then forward 4 times. Nice. And then the foot goes out to the other side. Knee facing the ceiling, flat foot. Make sure you're aligned. We put this arm on here. We let the elbow close toward the hip. We bring the arm overhead and lean. Good. Just take that reach over there. Nice. Breathe into it again. Let's roll that shoulder back as much as we can to get that full, strong alignment. So being a little bit forward feels more natural because you want the assistance of that rear deltoid and the flexibility that is involved in the tensor fascia, or not the serratus anterior, but you're really needing to get that stretch up out of that hip and into the other side. Nice. Now we're going to take that tuck under, dropping that arm to the floor and the ear to the floor. Really reach and breathe into it. Beautiful. Marvelous. Good. Just reach and reach and reach. Push that bent arm into the floor. We're going to come back over to the side here, reaching all the way down to our ankle if we can, and do that curl down. Again, trying to roll that shoulder back. It's really kind of difficult. So you're going to inhale and exhale all the way over to the other side and get that stretch. Looking all the way out from that foot to the tops of those fingers, rolling back the shoulder, getting yourself in alignment, head over tailbone, and that's the way it goes. Beautiful job. And then inhale and exhale and bring yourself back up. We're going to double our knees again, holding ourselves lifted, and then rotate the hips around 8 times. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So I'm going to turn to the side because now we're going to do the low lunge. Now I want you to put the foot flexed into the floor and take the other foot forward. Right? Walk it a little bit forward so that you can push back into your toes. You don't actually have to do much here because pushing into the toes and pushing into the front foot is going to get you the kind of stretch that's useful. Now, no back bends, right? No arching on this. Just really into this deep stretch. Yeah. Nice. The stretch inside the stretch here is going to be lifting off the back knee just a little bit. Yeah, there you go. You can feel it in the front of that hip, in the tensor fascia latae. So holding that stretch. Straighten that leg out if you can. That's another level. You can stay all the way down on the mat. You could stay hovering with the knee, or you can push it into long leg in the back. Good. Getting your head over your tailbone, then release it back down to the floor and straighten the front leg. So this is your half split. Let's make our shoulder blades go down. Let's up here. Let's get our shoulder blades down and get that foot flexed in the front. Now we've been in this stretch before. We're going to do a couple of different things in it. See, the perched foot makes you go into balance. The first thing we're going to do is drop the foot to the outside. Now, this is a strain on the knee. So if this doesn't work for you, stay here. Just drop that foot to the outside. Good. Stretch inside the stretch. Breathe into it. Bring the foot back to center. Drop it into the inside. We have a little more room here. The hip is a ball joint, so it goes around. And then bring it back up. You're going to lower your chest to the center by putting your hands outside the or on each side of the leg and come all the way down with your chest. Nice. Just breathe into it. Feel like your head is pushing toward the wall in front of you. Yeah? You're not curling under. You're pushing out. It's not a fold. It's a hinge, right? Now, in the stretch, we're going to do another stretch inside the stretch. Opposite hand on the outside of the foot, and then just bring it down a little bit more. So we're doing a couple of things here with the shoulders, with the hips, with the foot that's perched in the back, with the back itself, and with the flexed hamstring. Good. Good. And just stretch into it. I don't want to come out of this. It feels so significant. Now put the hands outside the leg again, and then you're going to shift your chest over to the thigh. Good. And again, you can see how that changes the emphasis, the activation of the muscles and where it's addressing. Can you bend those elbows a little bit to get a little bit more movement? Again, head down but not under. Groovy. Hands inside the leg. Push so that your knees come side by side. Curl yourself up. Nice, and hold yourself for quite a little bit of a minute here. I'm going to take it to cactus just to get some openings. Yeah. All right, release it down, and guess where we're going? Flex the back foot first, then bring it to the front for the flex, for the low lunge. So we're staying in that low lunge to begin. I want to make sure that my foot is aligned with my leg. It is. Okay. Couldn't tell in the camera. It looks like it's inside a little bit. When I look back, it's not inside. So it's right behind the knee. All right, you can stay here. You can lift the hover, or you can go all the way to straight lunge. Good. Breathe into it. Feels amazing. Beautiful. And I love it. I feel so strong in this position. Then bring it down. Make sure the foot is still flexed into the floor and come into your half split. Lift your body up over the hips. Nice. Just hold that till you get acclimated to it, and then frame your leg as you come down to the center stretch. Good. You're pushing back, but you're not going back. You're just pushing back, right? Breathe into it. And here we go. The opposite arm around to the outside of the leg. Bring your chest down to center. Enjoy this numerous stretch. Many multifaceted stretch right here. Great. Breathe into it. Make sure you drop the shoulder. It's easy to hike it up toward your ear. It's just so natural, right? Make sure you purposely drop it. And then reframe the leg and bring your chest down in the middle. All that great juice. I can get a little more distance here if I keep breathing. It comes down even more and more and more and more and more. And then your chest over the thigh. All right, same thing. Breathe down into it, head down but not under. And then hands inside the leg and bring yourself right here to tabletop. Don't come out of tabletop. Nice job. From here, we're going to push it up into downward facing dog. All right, so we're lifted. Our chest is going toward our thighs. Our hands are reaching out in front of us and pushing into the floor. Our feet are pushing back. The most important part, our glutes are going to the ceiling. I just want you to breathe in this. I want like 8 breaths. Last one. Question, are you feeling the toes equally pushed into the mat, like the big toes and the little toes? That's just really important. All right, bring the knee up toward the chest, one leg. Take it all the way up to an extension behind you. Bend the foot to the left. Take the knee to the outside, and then lift all the way up so that you open that hip and then extend again. Make sure your arms are even all the way through this. Reach, 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 long arms, long legs, open hip, staying on all 5 toes of the other leg, pushing into your hands. Amazing. Good. Rotate the knee down, keeping the leg long. And I want you to push your head back toward your knee and try to get the leg up even more. Nice. And then bring it all the way down. Drop that same knee forward. And then push back into your heel. All right, got that? Let's do that on the other side. Knee comes forward first, takes the leg up, bends, takes it to the outside, reaches that open hip, and then extends the leg up, both even arms. Come on. You can get strength through your arms while you're doing this. Nice lift, 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 lift. Then rotate the knee down while you're still lifted. Lower the foot, drop the knee forward, and then push it back. Nice. Now I want you to take your back leg forward into your pigeon. So we're holding the pigeon right here. I'm going to try to straighten my leg out a little bit more and have my hips come down. So we know our regular pigeon work right here. We know to be on long arms, and then we go down to elbows. We get a lot of movement, but we're going to do something different today. We're going to bring ourselves up as high as we can in pigeon without going backwards. So we're not depending on resting on our hands, but you're resting on your fingertips right here. Then I want you to take the hand where your foot is to the knees. So both hands are over by the knees right here. Lift out of it. Yeah. So you have your upper body rotated, and then your lower body's folded into pigeon. Then you bring your hands to front again. You're still lifted, and you're going to look behind you and take that leg and bring it into a quad stretch. Pointed foot right here, right? Nice job. And then bring it back to pigeon. Switching that knee under. The knee was out, now it's under. You're going to come down to your elbows. Flatten that foot out for sure. Right? Breathe into it. Now from here, we're going to walk those hands out and try to take our chest to the floor. The shoulders shrugging? I hope not. Push long into those hands. Push long and walk them in. And bring yourself to center. Just do a quick straddle here. We're going to walk it out for some equilibrium. Oh, look how low you can go now that you've opened those hips up. And then walk it. Good. All right, let's go to the other side. Same thing. If I can remember it all. All right, we're going to start in pigeon. We're going to make sure we have those hips facing down. You can put a block under the higher lifted hip if you need to, and you're going to hold it right there. Then you're going to walk it back to a more lifted pigeon. And this actually is more pigeon, right? Now from here, you're going to put the hands both over on the knee side and hold it right there. Got to do the rollout on the second side of the side split. I just realized that. And then the hands frame again. You rest on your glute. You turn around. Do that quad stretch. And then release it. We're back to pigeon, but now we're on our elbows. Breathe into it. And then reach out. Try to get that chest down. Walk it in and bring yourself back up, and let's go back to straddle. And we're going to work in straddle from here for now. We've got all kinds of things to do before this class is over. So I'm going to roll your legs back and forth because I forgot The roll on the other side. Let's roll them back and forth. Make sure you're on your sit bones, bend your knees if you need to, and get your chest lifted. All right, from here, lifted chest, right? Then take the ear to the side, put the hands in the centers of the elbows or the shoulders are naturally down. Just hold it right there and breathe into it. To the armpit, right? I know some people go right to the center, but I think there's so much value in getting the outside of that cervical curve and now the whole cervical curve. Then the armpit on the other side, or like the shoulder crease. It's called the shoulder crease. And then ear over to that side. Stay lifted. Come on. And bring it back up. Do it in the opposite direction. Ear over. Chin towards shoulder crease. Make sure you're pulling your shoulder blades down all the way back for that cervical curve. Over to the other shoulder crease. Ear on the shoulder. And bring it back up. Roll the shoulders back 8 times. Keeping those arms in the center. 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now we're not staying in this position, we're folding one leg. Okay, so we're going to lift out of this folded leg. So the first thing we're going to do is a spinal twist to the folded leg side. If you can only do side turns, stay on that side turn. Just make sure it's a very dedicated one, but you can protect your hip that way. I like a slight flex in the other leg. It kind of does 2 things. It stretches out the back of the leg, and it also assists in the rotation. So stay nice and high. Get those arms out to the side. Take a big inhale and exhale and side first. Lower the back hand behind your tailbone. Bring the other hand over to your thigh. Big inhale and exhale, turn. And big inhale and exhale, turn. And big inhale and exhale, turn. Lift. Drop your shoulder blades. Be very attentive to form here. Breathe into it. Nice job. And you're brilliant. So what's the stretch inside the stretch here? I want you to take the top leg and try to put it on top of the other leg in that fold. There you go. Still lifted. So you can feel more in the obliques, right? So you have that kind of half lotus. Now I'm going to take the front arm and push down into the thigh as you turn. Holy cow. So we've got more to do with the spinal twist than just the twist, right? Push into it. Beautiful. Slip that leg off. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, bring it back to center and slide down the other leg and come on over into a curl down stretch. Roll that shoulder back, bend that downward elbow. Make sure that you're getting that full lift out of the hip, but pushing the glute into the floor at the same time. Nice job. Rotate your chest to that thigh. I want 6 breaths here, lowering each time. Two more. Hands beside the ankle, framing the ankle. Long arms looking at the foot. Walk it in, vertebrae by vertebrae. Bring yourself back up, center your body, and go over to the other side. Slight flex in that leg. Lift yourself up out of your tailbone. Arms out to the side. We rotate, big inhale and exhale. Hand is down. The other hand is on your thigh. Big inhale and exhale. Turn, lift out of it. Big inhale and exhale. Turn. Big inhale and exhale. Turn, lifting and breathing. I want the 5 breaths before we elevate that leg. Good. Nice job. Then you're going to put your leg up onto your thigh. Good. Keep breathing. If you can. If you can't, just stay where you are. Then push down into that thigh as we keep lifting out of this spinal twist. Gosh, this is so different. Lift that leg off. And another couple breaths. Inhale to prepare. Exhale. You're coming over into that side curve. Lower bent arm. Shoulder floats back. You're going to have different stretches on both sides, even though you're doing the same thing. And then rotate your chest down. I want 6 breaths here. Drop the shoulder blades. And hold it. Frame the ankle. Extend the arm. Get that nice long back stretch. Good. And walk it back vertebrae by vertebrae. That felt so different. All right, take those legs out again. We're going to lift out of it and walk ourselves forward. Down but not under. Make sure you never crush the back of your neck or open it too far. Perfect. Let's take another big inhale, bringing it up, and exhale, bringing it all the way down. Walk in. Nice. Bring those legs together and bounce it out. Perfect. I want to bring ourselves up as we go toward the end. So if you're doing this at the end of the day, you might do the next few exercises lying down, which you can do. But if you're doing it at the beginning of the day or in the middle of the day where you can get yourself a little more elevated in terms of energy, then do it with me standing up. So come on up. And we're going to put our feet together. All right. We're going to put my clothes down. We're going to go down into a squat, putting our hands beside our legs, and then pull up into a releve. Just pull yourself up into a releve. I know we're a little off balance because we were down for so long. Lift yourself up. Beautiful job. Now you're going to take the arm out, stay in the releve, and turn to one side. So this is going to be balance as well as stretch. So stay on your toes if you can. If you can't, just do the side bend. Bring it back to center and then over to the other side. Good. Bring it back to center as you put your hands on your glutes. As you come down, open up your chest. Now you're going to do a dramatic jazz fold in the front. That means back of the hands come together, knees come down, and back curls. So inhale and exhale, right? And inhale it back up, and exhale it back up. Good. Inhale it back up. We're going to do 5 of these. Exhale it back up. Open up that back. Inhale it back up. See, I told you we're going to get energetic. Exhale it out. And inhale it back up. Chest opens. And exhale it out. We'll hold it right here. And then put the arms together. Elbows and fingers. And reach over to one side. Breathe into it. 2 more breaths. Reach up through the center, and let's take it to the other side. You're going to have better reach on one side than the other. One more. Drop the shoulder blades. And reach it back up. And then you're going to bring the leg into tree. Bring the arm down to center. Lift out of it. So some people collapse a little bit forward to kind of keep their balance. It's really important that you always think of balance as a lift, right? Your head is going toward the ceiling, not toward the floor. So that's how you balance. I got to bring myself back into this. Back out. And slide it down. Other side, let's go up. and lower it down. Nice job. Bring your elbows back. Float those hands palm down. Just, here's your position right here. Right here, and then in shoulder alignment, right? So just make sure you saw that. Lower it down and cross one leg over the other and sit back into your squat here, pigeon squat. Good. Bring it back up through the center. Right here. Now I can't press on my knee on this side, so I'm going to fake it. I come down. What I basically do is try to lift my foot off the knee, but it doesn't matter. Then you start crunching or rumble at the same time. So go ahead and do it. Sit down into it. Good. And then bring it back up. Nice job. And then your hands are going to palms back, right? Little scarecrow thing. Drop your head, slide down. Forward fold. Keep those legs long if you need to. If you don't need, if you can't, I mean, if you can, if you need to do a slight bend, that's perfectly fine. It's not too much of a bend because you'll just give up on those hamstrings altogether. So don't go all the way down if you can. But if you can, chest against the thigh as much as possible. Nice. Great job. Now walk both hands over to one side and reach down with your chest in the center. I know that feels like it's not going to work, but it's an effort. That's doing the two resistances, right? And walk it over to the other side. Nice. Then to the center, I want you to grab your big toes and lift them up, if you can. Right? Pull that belly button to your spine. That's going to make you hold a little bit better. Release your toes, put your hands on your shins and flat back, eyes facing down. Roll up through the belly. I know we started there today. And come all the way up. Open up those legs right here beyond the shoulders. I want you to come up onto the toes first and hold it right there. Again, a little bit of balance, a little bit of stretch. Lower and side lateral lunge here. All right. Stretch inside the stretch, inside ankle, and to the ceiling, chest to the thigh. Outside ankle, hands to the ceiling, chest opens up. Come back to the center, sweep both arms up, come back into that releve, off the floor. I can't help but make sure you get strength no matter what you're doing. All right, lower into the lateral lunge to the other side. All right. First, establish it. Okay, hand to the ankle. Side opens up. And then down and lift up. And then bring it back to the center, lifting your legs up, bringing your head. Take those legs out as much as you can to get that head down. Elbows bent on that mat. Lift those glutes. Don't let it rest in your knees or in your legs. Lift, lift, lift those glutes. And walk it out into super wide leg tabletop right here. Breathe. 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 And walk it back. And bring yourself up. Guess where we're going? You turn one leg out and we go into our warriors. because that's where I like to live. I like to live in Warrior Two. Now, you'll be surprised because usually we do half moon and we do right angle and as the stretch inside the stretch. But today it's going to be upper chest, upper body. So we're going to bring it into that chest opener. Now, some kind of variation on Humble Warrior. I can't take the arms overhead. A lot of yogis can. I'm not a yogi, obviously. Good. And then bring it back up. Keep your lovely Warrior Two. Make sure your head's over your tailbone. Arms are out again. And then the back of the hands together. And release it down. We're going to put both feet forward and then back to a wide leg forward fold. And that's some kind of crease. All right, wide leg forward fold. And then point the other leg out. You bring it up and you're on the other side. Get your head over your tailbone. Take it behind and lift. Move like Humble Warrior. I don't even think a yogi I follow online can do the arms over the head. And then inhale, exhale yourself back up, and then the arms come together from the back. Bring those arms down, legs go forward again, and you're back to your wide leg. Arms are way out in front of you. It's almost like a big fat downward facing dog right now. You're going to heel toe in while you're in this position. It's hard to do on the mat. So if you want to jump, that's okay too. Nice. Walk those hands in. Grab the ends of your elbows. Opposite hands. And then release them down. And swing coming up. The elephant comes up. Nice. Now, in order for us to prepare out of this, we're going to have to do some energetic openers, not super energetic, but stuff that will get us ready to move out. So first rotation is the leg. Neutral foot. All right, one of the things you can do is hold on for this because you might be out of breath. And the other one, we're doing 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Lower it down. If you need to touch down while you do it, that's fine. Just as long as you're getting a circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. A little wider. Soft knees, hip to rib cage. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And circle. 1, 2, 3. Just loosening up. 5, 6, 7, and 8. Reverse. 1. At the Solano County Fair today, they're having pig races. I think I'm going to skip it, but that's kind of interesting. And watching. Swing like empty coat sleeves. Be loose. Don't try to control this. This is just your body being your body, right? It wants to swing. It wants to move. Let's do 8 more. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's do it. Come to the center. Breathe up. Down. 2 more. Up. Down. Last time. Up and down. Thank you, everybody, for coming to today's stretch. It was called the Stretch Inside the Stretch. I hope you found new pockets in your body that got released and some new challenges.